Welcome. Hello. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in with Enchantress the Babbler, on our evolutionary rise. Welcome to another captivating episode here on my channel, Enchantress the Babbler. Hold on. I am Enchantress the Babbler here, your favorite mystical guide. Yeah, tapping and turning on, tuning in with you, right? Weaving alchemy and alignment into your evolutionary journey and future, right? That is now, right? Now is what we have for everything, right? So I got a lot of notes, guys, right? I got a lot of notes. Um, I'm gonna see how much I can pack in this one episode. If anything, I'll do more than one, but we're gonna dive in, okay? Because we're venturing into um an astrological phenomenon, right? And we're witnessing this astrological phenomenon now, even though this particular transit, right, which is Pluto's pivotal shift into Aquarius, right, is not happening until autumn, until fall, right, of 2024. But, 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 buckle up. Whew, buckle up because we're already witnessing this profound, it's this transit's profound explosion, right? Because it feels like that, right? It's the profound impact, this profound impact that is this celestial event that is creating lots of movement, lots of shifts, and it's already weaving its magic here and now, right? Because Pluto is this cosmic agent of metamorphosis. And so with that comes destruction and rebirth and stuff like that. And so here we are, metamorphosizing, right? Here we are, we're metamorphosizing and it's intense, right? Our entire existence is up for grabs here. Right, literally, right? This rebirth that's taking place, it's taking place on every single multidimensional realm of existence. Now, whether you believe in astrology or not, or whatever the case may be, you don't have to. This shit is still going down, and there's gonna be many ways that people are gonna have to describe what's happening here in this realm of perceived 3D existence. And for some, astrology is going to be the way to talk it, quantum physics, this, that, spirituality, religion, however you want to um, mark this experience for yourself. That's individual. I'm not telling you here what to believe. If this is not for you, it's not for you. You know what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't mean that this massive, um, intense, right? It's because it's so intense, like, right? It's rebirthing, this our entire existence at this moment in time, right? So wherever it graces, right, our birth charts too, like there's gonna be a profound um recalibration. There's going to be a profound growth. There's going to be a profound resurgence, right? Because there's a lot to Pluto, more than meets the eye, right? It's beyond the shadow of strife, right? You can look at it negatively. It's going to all depend on where you are evolutionary within yourself, right? And that just goes to speak in general for anybody, right? Wherever you are is how you see. You see as you are, right? And so, but there's this massive, right, offer of like this crucible, right, for growth and resurgence to occur, right? So we're going to delve into the deepest of seas because that's how it be. Don't mind me. I just got out of the shower, so that's whatever the case may be. I've been meaning to do this video and I wasn't sure if I was gonna jump on camera. That's why I'm like smirking, right? As I'm working and twerking. Right? But it is what it is. And I was like, budget, let me just jump on screen because I know I hardly ever go on screen. So this is me as I am. You take me as I am. I don't need to get glamorized for, my channel and stuff like that. Um, I have my moments, and I wanna be all cutesy. Right. So either way, so we're delving into the depths of Pluto, right? The the essence is rooted, right? Um, in the realm of deep emotions, right? And our subconscious, right? Deep emotions in our subconscious, right? Embodying parts of ourselves that often what's the word? That often like reveal, right? They're they're often um it's like what's the word I'm looking for? Right? It's often kind of like hidden from our world, from the world, right? So it's like it's hidden. There we go. That's how we can use it, right? So Pluto's named after the Roman god of the underworld, right? And it draws a parallel to with its Greek counterpart, right, which is Hades, right? So Pluto in astrology, right? Pluto in astrology. This is why I have notes. This is why I have notes because when I go and I you know what I mean? So in astrology mirrors these dark yet transformative myths of these gods and stuff like that, right? So um yeah, so we're gonna talk about that too, right? Because we're gonna piece it all together. This is kind of like reminding me. I know I always reference like yoga and things like that, but whatever. I'm always gonna reference the things that are important to me in my world and stuff like that. So there's a certain dynamic of yoga. It's called inside flow, right? And it's kind of like dancing to emotionally, like it's not dancing but it's yoga. It's like in emotion, like but when you learn the parts of this inside flow, you're learning it in parts, and then by the end of, like, let's say the class and stuff like that, you're piecing this whole choreography, this whole entire piece together. So this is what this is, right? We're piecing everything together so it's all going to make sense. So piece by piece by piece, because that's how we do, right? So anyway, so Pluto as an archetype, right? It's a symbol of power, right? And transformation, right? Pluto as an elemental force, right? Um, it's the elemental force of nature. Right? It's the elemental force of nature in the perpetual dance of creation and destruction at the same time. Right. So right. So in like its psychological terms, right? I even wrote that one down, right? Because I wrote it somewhere. It represents our hidden drives, right? Our obsessions and our compulsions, right? Akin to the Dionysian. I don't know how to say that. Di Dionysian. Dionysic. Listen, it is what it is, right? But you know what I'm talking about, right? The dynasty. The Dionysian. I think so. Dionysian. Okay, right? Fervor and right, and the shamanic journeys, right? So there we go, right? And it leads us into our depths of rebirth and transformation, right? So here we are, right? So did I even say Pluto's transit into Aquarius? Did I even say that? What the hell this video is about? Oh my goodness. Okay, we have Mercury leaving. Mercury's no longer retrograde, right? But we're still in its post shadowy phase. And so yeah, whatever, call it whatever it is, right? But either way, so we're fast forwarding, right? I tell you, it's gonna make sense as I talk it in its pieces into its parts, and then it's gonna be a whole, and then it's just gonna be like, oh, okay, gotcha. Right. Anyway, um, right. So we fast forward, right? So Pluto is gonna be transiting, right? It already started. Like you're feeling it, even though it's coming in. I did say it. I just say it. I just say it. Right. Into Aquarius, right? Which is the zodiac seeker of mystical truths, right? Shackled by conventional, unshackled by conventional belief systems and always in pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, right? Aquarius, right? Symbolized by the water bearer, right? Um, Aquarius heralds a new age of spiritual awakening and innovation, right? So it's the sign marked by being considered this visionary, right? It's visionary essence. Ooh, I fell here. Star of love and beauty. You are beautiful. You know what? Let's cut that too. Like, so coming undone, right? Like you're gonna see all the masks in this world being stripped away, right? And you're gonna be like, wow, I was beautiful in my own right. Anyways, right? No matter the 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 mask that has been worn around or the work that people get done, or I'm not knocking anything. I'm just saying that this world has to be destroyed in order for its natural habitat to be resurfaced again. You know what I mean? So certain kind of ideologies and certain kind of um hiccups that have come in and really knock people out, you know what I mean, to not even really see themselves. Like you see it now all over like the internet. Like people don't even go on the internet anymore or on video naturally. They always have this filter over. They have, all this other kind of stuff. And it's just like, it's sad to see because it's like, no, baby, like, love yourself in your skin, no matter what the fuck you look like, no matter what. And so this time, I'm really grateful for the time that I had, growing up as an 80s baby and stuff like that, and the 90s and stuff like that. We didn't have all these filters. So I had to really grow in my feelings of feeling inadequate or ugly. You know what I mean? This ugly duckly, ugly duckling kind of stuff, right? Because it's really helped in the now, right? And there's days that I feel like crap, like, you know what I mean? And there are days that I'm like, even like, going outside and I'll put on some makeup and stuff like that. And, my daughter or, my best friend will be like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, because I freaking want to put makeup on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, leave me alone. But either way, we have our moments and we should feel our greatest and stuff like that. But it shouldn't be dependent upon that. Like, if you didn't have the makeup, if you didn't have the filter, like what, you're not going to record? You're not going to go on the internet? You're not going to take that picture? You know what I mean? So it's just like, you're beautiful, star of love and beauty, serene, reassuring. So I hope this resurrection of this beauty, right? Because Aquarian is a sign marked by its visionary essence, right? And it's symbolized by the water bearer, right? And it's epic in its own right. Like, it's governed by the dual forces of Saturn, right? And Uranus, right? And so Aquarius bridges the wisdom of the past with the revolutionary future. And so with that being said, may beauty trends trend from within. You know what I mean? Like maybe this is why I'm like, I come out here and I am who I am. Like I can get like, I'm cute when I want to get dressed up. You know what I mean? And I want to be all, whatever the case may be, but to be secure and confident in your alignment of that. Like, it's not being egoic. It's like just know, like, you know what I mean? Like you see certain kind of things and you hear certain kind of things, like, like even just like, I read something the other day where they were like, oh, Kylie's in her and I'm not knocking Kylie Jenner. I think she looks beautiful with from what you can perceive and receive from her pictures and things like that, or whatever the case may be. But we know that that's not what she naturally looked like. Now, granted, she looks like that now. So, you can't knock how she looks now, because she didn't look like that. But when people are like so delusional and the words that they're using are just like, oh, she's in her natural era. No, she's past that. She can never be natural because she's unnatural. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, the delusion and just a fucked up mindset that people have, like in regards to what is beautiful, what is this beauty standard and stuff like that. I really feel like, there needs to be this new resurrection with that, right? So let us bridge the wisdom of the past with the revolutionary future and return to our homostasis, our natural state of truth, right? Of truth, right? And I think about that, right? So Aquarius is like the sign. I'm just gonna turn here because I'm going in order, like I'm not like, whatever. I'm talking, I'm veering off of, my notes and things like that, but I don't care. Like, it is what it is at the end of the day. The animal totem. Like, if I was to associate, say I get emotional and then I get stuffy. So the stuffiness, like removing the stuffiness of life and being true to breathe, you know? Being true to breathe, right? So anyway, the animal that I would associate with Aquarius is the dolphin, right? And I love my little dolphins, right? They're so cute, right? So and dolphins mirror Aquarians intellectualism and playfulness at the same time, right? And they embody this freedom and this fearless spirit, right? Um and so with that resonating with Aquarius's deep essence, like, and then Pluto's resurrection and resurgence, like, may we fully fuse the power of Pluto's transformation with Aquarian's visionary spirit, right? And really embody ourselves authentically. You know what I mean? And not give a flying fudge um of these imposed upon us standards and trends and lies. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it is what it is at the end of the day, right? Because as we fuse Pluto's um transformative power with Aquarius and stuff like that, um we invoke this visionary spirit, and it's time. It is so time, right? Um, it's time to to really embrace, right? Like so look, as we fuse Pluto's transformative power with Aquarius's visionary spirit, we delve into a realm of revolutionary change. Right, and we're witnessing that now, right? Pluto's journey through Aquarius dismantles, right, outdated power structures. There we go. Outdated power structures, right? Dismantling it, instigating change across institutions and traditions, right? And this transit heralds a new era of scientific breakthrough, right? And social revolutions, evolutions, and a profound awakening of individual and collective consciousness. Good part. Right? So, in each and every one of us, as Pluto transits our sign through Aquarius, it's time for identity revolution, right? It's about shedding the old and embracing perspectives that elevate both you, me, we, the collective. You know what I mean? Yeah, so hold on a second. It was a little bit cold, so I went and got me some sakes. Right? So, yeah. So I'm putting on some socks. Okay? Right? Oh, anywho, right? So as like Pluto transits your sign, your sign, Aquarius, right? It's as Pluto transits through your sign, through the sign of Aquarius, right? It's time for an identity revolution, right? It's about shedding the old and embracing perspectives that elevate, that motivate, that inspire both me, both, yeah, all of us, the collective, right? And so I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing to be able to do something like that, right? Because remember, Pluto's influence, right, extends beyond mere destruction. That's what we were talking about right here. So I'm going back into what we were talking about, right? It extends beyond mere destruction. It is a catalyst, right, for regeneration and evolution, right? And it subtly orchestrates change from the cosmic shadows, right? So its passage through Aquarius has already initiated itself March of 2023, right? And the spotlights that have been the spotlighted themes here have been technology, politics, and revolution unfolding over 2 decades, right? So this celestial saga, right, is punctuated by Pluto's retrograded motions, right? So it beckons us. It beckons us to revisit, right? And to release archaic structures, right? Preparing us for a monumental leap, right? And so when it begins November 19, 2024, right? As Pluto anchors itself in Aquarius, it will be there until 2044. 2044, right? So when it happens, right, healer of physical ailments too, answering prayers, recovery, travel safety, healing, right, health and wellness, right? So here we go, right? And then this bodily harm. So I was talking about our bodies and stuff like that. Like all these things, all these changes, all these unnatural things that people are putting into their bodies to look a certain type of aesthetic and all this other kind of stuff, like the long-term ripple effects of that stuff. What do you think these chemicals do to our brain? What do you think they do to to the chemistry in our own bodies? You know what I'm saying? Like, like we can think, oh, it's this at this moment in time, but that shit fucks with you. That shit fucks with you. There's nothing that you can say. It's a chemical imbalance that you're creating into your whole ecosystem by doing certain type of things just to keep up with the trends, just to keep up with this beauty standard that's unmotherfucking realistic and really like it so much of the controlling and the conditioning in our environment has really messed up people's eyes. Like, what is beautiful to you, right? Like, really, let's go into these structures, right? So, anyways, so here we are, right? So here we are. We're being prepared for this monumental leap, right? And as we revisit and release, we regenerate too, right? We release and we regenerate, right? We regenerate and we recalibrate and we do all this beautiful stuff, angelable stuff for me. I don't know, but either way, protector and our children need to be protected, right? This our children are our future, right? An angel of impossible miracles, right? Swift, astonishing surprises that we can expect miracle cures, right? That we can expect a spark of wonder so that we can rapid healing. We can expect vitality. right? So that's deep. That's really, really deep, right? Um, so with Pluto in Aquarius, we can expect a resurgence of Aquarius-like themes, Aquarian themes, right? Of freedom, right? Of social activism, right? Um, and technological too, innovation, right? So setting the stage for long-lasting change, long-lasting change. Long lasting, angel of intuition and inner peace, right? So creating these things too, right? So for those of you here, you might be 35, you might be 53, you might be 32 years old, you might be 21 years old, you might be 24, you might be 41, you might be 42. You don't have to be, I'm just saying, right? For those of you tapped in, you could have been born 1964, you could be 64, you could be 46, you could be 42, I said. You could be 53, 52, 51, 54. 64, 61, 62, 41, 42, 46, 43, 45, whatever the case may be, right? So, yeah, so as we embrace this cosmic tide, right? As we embrace this cosmic tide, let's amplify our inner power, right? Um, by affirming certain things, right? By decreeing certain kind of things, mindsets, structures within our own entire mind, body, heart, and soul alignment and stuff like that. So definitely watch till the end because I will be sharing affirmations. I hope I did them. Um, I think I did. But either way, yeah. So stay tuned to the end because we'll definitely be going over um stuff, right? Um and things like that. So when we talk about the infusion, right? Either way too, before we even go there, I hope this video really helps you to prepare for this coming transit, right? And thank you so much again for tapping in, turning on, tuning in to my channel. I hope that you like this video, give it a thumbs up and stuff like that, and subscribe to my channel, right? So I appreciate each and every one of you, right? Divine partnerships, right? Actual divine partnerships, not this corny shit that people be fronting on like TV for or in like pretending that their relationships are about this and that or acting a certain type of way and actually coming back to divine partnerships too. Yeah, like how dope is that, right? So for those of you that are celibate, abstinent, or have been, not so much holding out, but like not settling either. Like, you know what I mean? Prepare to meet your divine counterpart, right? Or if you are with your divine counterpart, prepare for that to really soar, to really transform, to lead the way for our planet today. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I like that too, and things like that. So with time. All right, so here we are, right? Um, Guardian of the gates of the east wind, right? Awakening love. Look at that. Look at that. I was just talking about love because love came up here of divine partnerships. So look at that's even more so like to really, really embrace that and stuff like that here, right? So awakening love, enlightenment brings joy, identifies fears, listens attentively, right? Um, so I will awaken the ascension attitudes within you, love, gratitude, and surrender. I help open the fourth chakra and raise your frequency to that of divine union with your beloved other, right? And first you have to have that like within yourself. Like, people can be like, oh no, you can find that and you can have your partner, you and your partner can build each other. All right, great, then it can happen. I'm not saying that it cannot freaking happen, but Like, how much destruction do we have to cause in each other's lives when we're not alchemized in the alignment? How toxic do we need to be for another person to cause trauma for them too? Like, why do people need to deal with our traumas, our dramas, our insecurities, our toxicities, and all this other kind of stuff? Like, why can't you already come in your relationship being the best version of yourself in every single way so that you can uplift, right? You can soar, you can be all that you can be and be the best counterpart partner for you and your partner. You know what I mean? People like, oh no, we grew together, we grow together, and y'all hated each other for some time. Y'all went through some fucking hellish kind of vibes, and that shit lingers. That's like more trauma to heal from, more drama to heal from, more this, that. Why does somebody need to be your parent too? And I'm not saying that all these kind of things can't be embodied in a relationship where you care for each other, you nurture for each other, you help one another and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not saying that, I'm not knocking that, I'm not saying all of that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying, like, how much drama, how much trauma do we have to keep passing to one another and then calling it fucking love just because someone sticks around? Now you traumatized me. You know what I'm saying? So may this like, transit really fully put you in your most healed self so that you don't have to be that for somebody. You can be the best you ever. And they don't have to deal with your nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not fair. And it's not about being fair and all that, but yeah, nah, justice is here, right? It's here, right? So allow this video here, right, to really fully prepare you for this transit, because although it is coming, it's already here. It's already here. Right? So yeah, and it's gonna be affecting all of us collectively. And so really, truly, like, allow this time to really create the dynamic quantum justice within yourself so that you could be the best version of yourself for those around you, for yourself and for those around you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? So here we are. I'm back after much time. But either way, so Pluto is the planet of transformation, destruction, right? And renewal. I like that word, right? So whenever this planet shows up in our birth chart or in on the planet, right, it tends to intensify, right, everything around it, right? However, though, right? Pluto is not all about death and struggle, right? It offers a lot of opportunities for growth and rebirth. And so this is important. I really want to overly emphasize that because Pluto's energy is extremely potent and powerful, right? So the planet represents the underbelly of emotions and what lies beneath the surface and our subconscious, right? So when we're doing this, right, all the parts of ourselves, right, the subconscious mind, all the parts of ourselves that we do not share freely, right, with the outside world, these are the underbelly things, right? These are the things that really are represented by by Pluto, right? It was astronomers whom originally named Pluto, out of which the astrological myths are drawn, right? So Pluto comes from a Latinized form of the Greek Pluton, an alias of Hades, right? So we were talking about that before. So its astrological influence as the wielder of dark justice mirrors these ancient myths of Pluto, Roman, and its Greek doppelganger, Hades, which is what we were talking about before. But either way, right? I don't want to keep on just like repeating myself too every time I come back. It's just every time I come back after hitting pause for a second, like I have to like kind of pick up where I left off and I don't be remembering. You know what I mean? So, and that's just the truth and stuff like that. But I'm going to deliver the message either way. Angel of eternal youth, right? 41, you could be 41 years old, 42 years old. You don't have to be, right? Or you could have been born 1941, right? So Pluto represents too, like I want to get into Pluto and Aquarius and then we're going to infuse it all and stuff like that, right? So the universal principle of depth, of power, of transformation, right? And it's an elemental force of nature, which we were talking about earlier too, right? And it's forever destroying and recreating itself in different kind of multidimensional aspects and ways, right? Ensuring that life is always dying to the old, right? And being born to the new, which is like that serpent's tail, right? That Ouroboros, right? Always serpent eating his tail round and round here, round and round we go, cyclical, right? Here, especially here on the earth realm and stuff like that, right? The Ouroboros, right? So the tail eating serpent of the dragon, right? Of the snake or whatever the case may be, right? Consuming itself, right? In the perpetual cycle of instinctual life, right? Which is this 3D perceived reality, this multidimensional reality, this 3D earthly reality that we continue to wake up to, right? In the Jungian psychology, right? Pluto is associated with the dark power of repression, right? Of repressed, the dark power repressed into the shadow that finds expression in our drives, our obsessions, and our compulsions, right? So it's connected too with that Dionysian, right? I don't know how to say that word, but it was giggling before and stuff like that. That's what I was trying to say. But passion and that demonic type of possession, right? And even though it's with the shamanic dismemberment and the blinding grip of fate, right? Imposing on us this this what's the word I'm looking for? It's like imposing on us a calling and pulling us into this inexorably, right? This place that it's just it's that it's like an abyss, right? I feel like I'm all over the place. All right. So, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all gonna come together. It's just like that inside flow that I was saying and stuff like that. I don't know what is going on for communication, but it's happening, right? Archangel of resurrection, right? Seraphel, fire of purification, right? So holiness, truth, and love, increasing faith, overcoming addictions and things like that, right? So, right. So, um, right. So, hold on. Here. Right. So Pluto too was the Roman counterpart to Hades, right? So that's why we were saying the doppelganger or whatever the case may be. But the Greek deity who ruled the underworlds of the same name, right? So a wizened Pluto leans on his staff as his three-headed hound Cerberus keeps watch in this statue from the second century, right? From this depiction, right? Of that, right? So there's so many levels to this type of perception of what Pluto can represent, right? So and how it by itself has this powerful impact, right? And Aquarius, right? Um, which is the 11th sign of the zodiac, right? So here we are. So we're in Aquarius, right? It's mystical, it's questioning side and seeking, right? Aquarians have this deep tradition of digging deep, right, into the unknown. And so here we are. So it's like a nice pairing, right? It's just a nice pairing, right? Aquarians are usually typical to unafraid to question authority, right? They might balk, right, at traditional religion only to find their own system of truth, right, of spirituality that becomes that they're becoming, right? So the age of Aquarius, which is now beginning, will be characterized by this water bearer, right? A symbol of the bringer of spiritual enlightenment. That's kind of what that means and things like that, right? So water being one of the two main images of spirit and the other being fire. So bringing the spirit, this fire, this here to earth, right? And so it's like kind of like a symbol of the gods bringing this essential nutrients, right? The essential nutrients to earth, And Aquarius is responsible for doing that. And think about it too, like with Aquarius, the sign, it's the only sign that is a symbol. The symbol is not of an animal or anything like that. It's an actual man, like a human being. And I think that's really important to like think about, because you got Aries into the sign of Pisces, Aries, right? Well, everything is represented by some type of animal, and Aquarius is the only one represented by a human. That means something, right? So air is just the final third elemental air sign, right? And just like air, right? Lack a it is this it has a distinct it lacks a distinct form, right? And appears to resist classification. Because how can you identify air if you can't see it? You know what I mean? You can feel it, you can sense it, you can wow, that but like how can you classify it? Really? You know what I mean? So either way. So ruled by Saturn and Uranus, right? The Aquarian sign, right? Superpower involves reflecting on the past while figuring out how to move forward in the future. Aquarians, like in their wizened self, right? In their all wise, like, in alignment, healthy, wealthy, stealthy type of selves, they are great solutionists. They have awesome solution power, communication, solution skills, like wisdom, right, to share with the world, right? So Aquarius people are advanced, they're self-reliant, they're clever, they're exceptional and optimistic, right? Air is their elemental sign, and just like air, they lack a distinct form and appear to resist classification too, right? So that's powerful to know that, right? So ruled by, right, this, I said this already, right? So Saturn is the planet of time and also the ruler of Capricorn. Uranus, discovered around the same time as electricity, right, is the planet of insights, revelations, and revolutions, right? So that's good. That's powerful. And here we are. All right. So let us infuse. So I'm looking at the time and I just like babbled along the way. Welcome to Enchantress Thee Babbler. That's me. All right, so let's infuse these two together and dive deep the seas, right? With Pluto entering Aquarius. You know what I mean, jelly beans? So either way, right? So Pluto in Aquarius breaks up old power structures. And that's going to be the dynamic part of everything. And it's going to be shaking up the status quo, right? Right? Shaking up the status quo, inviting the element of change into all areas of life, right? But everything including dealing with like institutions, right? Hierarchies and traditions, right? So this energy is all about transformation on a collective level, right? As well as scientific advancement, right? So there's going to be a lot of that. So inventions leading to the increased equality and the betterment of humanity, hopefully. Like, that's the idea of it, right? The empowerment of the individual and the destruction of stereotypes too, right? So social revolution, right, occurring, and and unrest is going to be prevalent here at this time, right? Because protests and grassroots organizations, the demand for more personal freedom, etc. Like we're seeing too things that are just coming down, structures that are coming down, right? But it's supposed to, yeah, like the destruction of it all is to lead to increased unity, right? So the future is arriving whether people are ready for it or not, like, that type of thing, right? So then we can talk about like the identity crisis of certain kind of things, especially with the sign of Aquarius, right? Pluto is calling upon all versions of ourselves, all versions of you, helping you filter out the perspectives and reservations you've been holding onto that don't necessarily serve you or the collective good. You know what I mean? And so that's where kind of like we were talking about too, right? So after all, it's just moving right through, right? So it's moving right through our first house, and the first house is of self and identity, right? It's one of the most intense and foreboding planets, right? In astrology, acting as a representation of death, destruction, and the underworld all together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it packs a serious punch, especially when active, right? Active, it's clearing away dead weight from our own personal and collective lives, whether we're ready for it or not. Like, it's just happening, right? So astrologers can often point like their fingers at Pluto when, especially during like the COVID pandemic and stuff like that, and citing a conjunction with Saturn too as the catalyst that brought forth widespread illness. But it's the people, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, but this major change to our societal structures needs to be addressed, right? So in the wake of like countless infections and casualties, right, we also found ourselves conducting business differently, right? So we adapted to our new norm, and many found beauty in the freedom of that, which came with more time spent at home, right? Nurturing our families and these kind of dynamics and personal interest. And so, you know, a whole new like, you know, light bulb went out, off, on, however you want to point there, right? So Pluto's influence isn't restricted to just destruction. It also plays a role in the way that we come back from such situations, right? Allowing us to transform and evolve, right? So Pluto is the farthest reaching planet in our solar system, and we don't always feel its presence, right? It doesn't mean though that it's not affecting us, right? So though it's constantly working from behind the scenes, its journey kicked off back in March, right, in Aquarius, and it was bringing our attention to matters of technology, politics, and revolution, right? So through this celestial saga, right, it's a sort of it's gonna bring about change, right? On a human scale, right? The themes that unfold throughout the course of the next 20 years are going to be pivotal to how we live our lives, like here on this planet. And these shifts are going to kick off on shaky ground, right? Because shit got to change, like that type of stuff, right? So Pluto turned retrograde back in May in 2023, right? So it's like backsliding into Capricorn once more, right? In June, right? And this planetary like backspin gave us a chance to revisit old structures, right? At times we may feel as though we're being dragged, right? Dragged toward an outdated and authoritarian past that doesn't serve. As like yo-yo effect, right? And it's just like, okay, like what is that all about, right? So that yo-yo effect that will hit once more in the fall of 2024 is like, whoa, 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 right? So, but fortunately, we have a chance to really move forward once and for all in November of 2024, right? When Pluto makes its final entrance into Aquarius, staying in the sign of the water barrier until, I tell you guys, 2044, right? So, and as Pluto enters this Aquarius, sign, right? It's going to reactivate Aquarian themes, right? And so, right, so that's that revolution, that's that freedom, that's that social activism, right? But this time they will stay active for the long haul, right? So that's where it's something else we need to look forward to. So if you think shit is erupting now, just wait, right? Just you're gonna see, you're gonna witness, you're gonna be witness, right? Pluto in Aquarius breaks up the old power structures. It shakes up the status quo, inviting the element of change, right? Into all areas of life. And these dealing with that, it like, you know, especially out there, right? We're gonna feel it. Angel of everlasting life, right? Um, because Pluto shifts approximately every 12 to 30 years, right? So it stays for a long time to do its elliptical orbit, right? So its spiritual significance, right? It's for the long haul, right? So one of its significant benefits or the potential, right, is transformation of societal structures, right? Symbolizing profound transformations in our societal structures and collective thinking, right? It's known for its progressive and innovative nature, and this may lead to, you know, significant shifts in how communities and societies operate, and we're witnessing that now too, right? And we have this whole technological advancement, right? Aquarius has a strong association with technology and innovation, right? So Pluto's transit could spark and will spark groundbreaking, like, technological advancements, and a deeper integration of technology in daily life. Look at the use of AI now. Come on now. People think robots and all this kind of stuff, but AI don't need to have a body, right? So, right? And so then this too, the empowerment of individuality and freedom, right? Aquarius values individuality and freedom, right? And Pluto's influence in that is going to empower people to embrace their unique identities and fight for their personal and collective freedoms. Don't let it get it twisted by all this condition of this kind of malfunctioning system that just wants to fudge up humanity to keep it under an old control. So there's a shift in power, right? The shift in power dynamics, right? Because Pluto represents power and control. Its transit through Aquarius might and will bring changes in power dynamics, challenging traditional hierarchies, right? And promoting more, right? Um, decentralized kind of systems, right? And equality, increased humanitarianism, and like I said that word, humanitarianism, right? Um, hum Pluto's transit, right, could amplify efforts, right, of justice, equality, and humanitarian causes, right? That's gonna enhance our quality of living, right? Enhance environmental awareness, right? Because Aquarius is also linked with environmental consciousness, right? So during this period, we're going to see a heightened awareness and an action towards environmental issues and sustainability, right? Spiritual awakenings and new philosophies, right? The transit is going to lead to a collective spiritual awakening, which we're witnessing now with new philosophies, new ideologies emerging that challenge the status quo, right? Right. So, yeah. So many different changes and shifts, right? Revolutionary changes and rebellions too, that has to come about in order to bring down that which does not serve, right? Pluto can bring to light the darker aspects that need transformation. So in this Aquarius, right, this could manifest as revolutions, rebellions against oppressive systems, right? So, angel of symbols and dreams, paying attention to your dreams, right? And the connections that you make, a deepening of our community and social connections, right? Aquarius emphasizes community. Pluto's influence is can deepen the importance of social connections, right? Instead of all every man for themselves, right? Like that shit is corny already. Like we should be of unity in our community. But whatever. It's going to take some time, right? Psychological shifts, right? On a personal level, this transit is going to help trigger deep psychological shifts, right? Encouraging individuals to break free from old patterns, right? And embrace more authentic ways of being. I like that. And also remember too, like I was saying in the beginning, astrology is a belief system not universally accepted or supported by, scientific evidence and stuff like that. So the interpretation of astrological events and things like that, like Pluto entering Aquarius, varies, right, widely, and is often viewed kind of like, symbolically or metaphorically. So if you want to look at it like that, just look at it like that too. This is just symbolic talk. This is metaphorical talk. You know what I mean? The astrological interpretation of Pluto entering Aquarius, which symbolizes the breaking down of old structures and shit like that, the rise of the new paradigms can be, metaphorically related to even recent trends in Hollywood, right? And the entertainment industry. We've been all tapping and turning on, tuning into that shit that's been going on too, right? These trends include the exposure and downfall, right, of powerful figures due to scandals which align with the theme of transformation and the collapse, right, of traditional power structures, right, that are represented by these transits. Good. Especially with these celebrity scandals, right? Like this cases of like Puff Daddy, right? Cat Williams, like breakthrough performance of this interview, and TD Jakes, right, among others, can be seen as manifestations of Pluto's influence in uncovering hidden truths and power abuses. Let it be, right? So this results in a shift in public perception and the accountability of celebrities and figures in our society that are looked up to that maybe shouldn't wear those crowns, right? So it's going to be a transformation in industry practices, right? Hollywood is right now experiencing a transformative phase where outdated practices and norms are being challenged for reform, right? And this too aligns with the Aquarian theme of innovation and progress. But it's a process, right? Empowerment and diversity, right? There's a growing emphasis on individual empowerment and this diversity and the representation in this industry, right? So this reflects the Aquarian values of equality, humanitarianism, right? And respect for individuality. Right? So yeah, we can see it now too with the technological advancements, right? The rise of streaming services and digital media is another reflection of Korean influence. You know what I mean? Showcasing the industry shift towards more progressive technology, these type of technology-driven models and stuff like that, right? And so the list can keep going on, right? Within our social and environmental awareness, right? Increased focus on social justice and environmental issues, and especially that are showcased in film and television content that aligns with the Aquarian emphasis on humanitarianism and environmental consciousness. So like all of this, like we could just like connect the dots and shit like that. Right? I just want to say if I'm covering everything, right? The decentralization of power, right? The traditional Hollywood power hierarchy is being challenged, right? With more independent creators and diverse voices are now emerging, resonating with this Aquarius preference for decentralized egalitarian like systems. You know what I mean? So it's really important to note that while those trends can be interestingly paralleled with um astrological themes, they also reflect broader social, cultural, and technological changes in our society, right? So, right, astrology provides us this symbolic framework for understanding these changes. And that's why I love it, right? But it's not the sole explanation for them. You know what I mean? There's so many things, right? So here are some affirmations that we can say and stuff like that too, right? I embrace the transformative power within me to create positive change. I am a catalyst for innovation and progress in my community. I welcome new ideas and perspectives that challenge the status quo, right? But individuality is my strength and I celebrate it every day. I am open to the flow of revolutionary ideas that shape a better world. I possess the courage to stand up for freedom and equality. I am part of a collective movement towards positive global change. My actions contribute to a more just, fair, and equitable society. I am empowered to break free from outdated systems and beliefs, right? I am a leader in creating a future that values diversity and inclusivity. I am aligned with the energy of progress and transformation. I radiate confidence and strength in my pursuit of truth and integrity. I am a driving force for technological advancements and that benefit humanity. I foster connections that build strong, supportive communities. I am an advocate for environmental sustainability and consciousness. My mind is open to new philosophies that promote spiritual growth and evolution. I'm resilient and adaptable in the face of change. I lead by example, showing compassion and understanding in my interactions. I actively participate in the creation of more harmonious and balanced worlds. I'm a beacon of hope and inspiration in times of transformation, right? So either way, what I'm going to do is I have to take a break from here and I'm going to come back at a much later time. Hopefully this holds in place and stuff like that. And if it does, then I'm going to go through each and every single sign and I'm going to also pull some cards and stuff like that for this video. If not, there'll be a part two. So either way, thank you so much. There's a pause, there's a break, there's no edit like of fanciness. And I'm going to show all of that stuff when I come back. You're going to see the difference of time that has passed and things like that. So either way, I will be back. See you soon. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that it held over. And although it's like a new day and I'm all as sweaty as can be, um, I am so glad that it still is on pause. So with that being said, we are going to continue, right? Talking about Pluto's transit through Aquarius. So we spoke about it. I know I was a little bit all over the place the other night and stuff like that. We also, I gave affirmation, decrees, mantras, however you want to use them as they're meant to inspire personal growth. Um, for those of you that are tapped in, turned on, tuned in, right? Um, and this is just a reminder, that as Pluto enters Aquarius, it brings unique energies and challenges for each of the zodiac signs, right? And we're more than one sign, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, take everything like water through your hands and stuff like that, because everything is conditioned to us in this environment. So, I'm gonna go through every single sign, right? I'm gonna pull some cards, too, and then let this go. So. Um, we're gonna just cover love, career, health, and personal growth, right? So for the sign of Aries, right, and love, embrace unconventional relationships, right? Be open to new forms of connection, right? In regards to love and stuff like that. So in your career, innovate, be innovative, right? And lead, right? Um, be courageous with your bold ideas, right? Because they will pave new pathways, right? So, Aries, in regards to your money, there's an opportunity for financial liberation, right? But it lies in embracing change. You know what I mean? So, in regards to your health, break free from old health routines, try new wellness technologies and really challenge yourself, right? Transform yourself in ways that feel great for you, whatever the case may be. And in regards to wealth and evolution, wealth comes from daring to be different. You are different, right? Embrace that. Evolve by changing your norms. You know what I mean? So that's what I have for you, Aries. Thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in. See where you have Aries in your chart, whether it's, sun, moon, rising, Venus, and things like that too, right? Birth of a child might be happening for you. So Taurus, love, right? For love, we got stability in your relationships, right? But it requires your leveling of flexibility and your ability to adapt to emotional changes, right? So that's gonna be up to you pretty much. You know what I'm saying? In regards to your career, there's groundbreaking ideas. You're talented, right? You have these groundbreaking ideas in traditional fields that really can thrive. So it's up to you to put them out there. You know what I mean? At this time. In regards to your money, invest in future technologies, right? Make certain kind of investments. Be open to new financial strategies. Be open to transform them and take risk, calculated risk in certain kind of ways. In regards to your health, consistency is key, right? And don't shy away from holistic innovations. Like you might be open to it with other people, being now open with it towards yourself too, So wealth and evolution too. Wealth lies in you embracing both change and stability, right? So it's finding the median, the balance in that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, so we got, um, fire spellbinding. Okay, so Gemini. in love, communication, right? It's going to take a deeper turn. So express your unconventional sides, your emotional sides, right? Dive in to the emotion. You know what I mean? In regards to your career, collaborative projects bring unexpected success, right? So just keep doing you. You know what I mean? In regards to your money, diversify your investments, consider futuristic ventures, right? Invest in the future in some kind of way, and whatever that's going to mean for you, right? In regards to health, mental agility is your asset. So explore mind-body connections, tap in, turn on, tune in more, and maybe be quiet too. You know what I mean? Like process that energetically, you know? In regards to wealth and evolution, wealth is found in knowledge, right? As you know. So evolve through continuous learning, right? So you might be learning something new too, right? So see where you have Gemini in your chart, Sun, Moon, Rising as well, right? Just like going through all of it. So Cancer, right? Cancer in love, right? Forging deep emotional connections, right? Emerging, letting go of past insecurities, because that's what you want, right? In regards to your career, nurture your career with innovative ideas, blend intuition with intellect, right? And stay away from hurts from the past. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring that into your career, your money sector of life too, right? So balance your emotions in regards to money. Emotional intelligence, right? Guides wise financial decisions. So it's about this emotional intelligence that you're growing, right? In your knowing, right? So that it can be showing and flowing and glowing, you know what I mean? So in regards to your health, right? Emotional well-being, your emotional well-being is vital, right? So explore therapeutic methods that will really work for you, not just because like try it and let it be true for you. You know what I mean? So in regards to wealth, angel of apocalypse, so something might be going down too in regards to wealth and evolution. Wealth is emotional richness, right? So you're trying to master that, right? Evolving through self-awareness. So a little bit more self-awareness. Pluto's going to help with that in this transit and stuff like that, right? Restoring the spirit. There we go. Right. So Leo. Okay. Leo. So in regards to love, shine in your relationships by allowing others to share the spotlight. You know what I mean? Don't take it all. It's about sharing, right? Especially with your partner and stuff like that, right? Give them the floor. You know what I mean? So in career, lead with creativity, right? Embrace tech advancements in your field. It's going to benefit you in the long run, especially so you might be learning some stuff, implementing new stuff in your strategy and how you move and do things, right? In regards to your money, generosity returns tenfold. So invest in causes that you truly believe in, right? So you might be volunteering too some of your time, you know what I mean? So good, right? So in health, maintain heart health, right? Balance physical activity with relaxation too, you know what I mean? Right? And so wealth and evolution for you, wealth comes from self-expression, right? Self-expression, right? You might be traveling east or from the east or something like that. Well, wealth comes from self-expression and helping others shine. So your I guess your lesson in all this is going to be about helping others shine too, you know, instead of just always taking the stage, right? Awakening love, enlightenment brings joy, identifying certain kind of fears, right? So Virgo, here we go, right? Your love, analytical approach to love softens, right? So during this time. So embrace more spontaneity, right? In regards to your career and stuff like that, precision meets innovation, right? The beauty of God, right? So your attention to detail is invaluable. So appreciate beauty, follow your bliss, joyful fulfillment is in the works for you, right? So with money, practical financial planning meets inventive investments, right? So here we go. So what are you inventing? What do you do that's so unique that should be shared? You know what I mean? So in regards to health, holistic health approaches bring about balance that you seek. It's not about just, oh, I should do that. It's actually do that. You know what I mean? For your own wealth and evolution, right? So wealth is in the details, right? So evolve by integrating new systems, like, right? Bringing about what you do in a way that's going to bring balance in every kind of way and peace for you. So it's divine order. You know what I mean? So Libra, hi. You know what I mean? So Libra and love, harmonious relationships require innovative solutions, right? So it's about coming up with certain kind of solutions that might be challenging for you at this time. Angel of lifestyle and affection, right? So career, your charm and diplomacy paved the way for progressive alliances. So making alliances that bring joy, pleasure, vitality, heart-centered fulfillment, right? So in regards to your money, traditional and futuristic investments, right, are at play here. So that's good, right? So in regards to health, social well-being is as important as physical health for you during this time. So just be mindful, right, of your own wealth and evolution, right? Because wealth lies in relationships. So you're going to be evolving through collaborative efforts, right? That maybe didn't go quite as planned as before, but now it's like fine tuning that for yourself and bringing about great collaboration, right? Scorpio, right? Love, in regards to love, intensity in relationships, right? Angel of impossible miracles, right? Intensity in relationships, they deepen at this time. So embrace transformative connections, okay? In regards to your career, your strategic mind finds success in reformative kind of projects, right? So there's going to be some groundbreaking success in regards to your purpose, right? So in regards to money, intuitive investments lead to prosperity. I even hear like even like just gambling. I'm not saying be a gambler, but I'm just saying like you might play a game because you feel like the color black is gonna win, and black wins, that type of stuff. I don't know what I mean, but play the lotto, right? In regards to health, emotional and sexual health are intertwined during this time. So from even my celibates out there or my abstinent ones, right? Maintaining certain balance. So it's gonna get deep, it's gonna get intense at this time for you. So with your health, wealth, evolution, wealth is in your transformation, right? So evolving by embracing the unknown and just diving in, right? Because you feel it, right? Because you feel it, right? Angel of contemplation, because you feel it. All right, Sagittarius, right? And love, adventures, expect adventures in love, right? Exploring unconventional relationships and actually taking a chance, taking the risk, diving in, right? Even more, right? More than what your freedom loving self would allow, right? So, in regards to your career, the outlook leads, in regards to your career, taking like certain risks and investments, they might pay off, right? So looking towards your futuristic markets, right? And actually putting certain things that you create to out there and things like that, right? In regards to health, outdoor activities, travel, right? They're gonna boost both your physical and mental health, right? So yeah, I see a lot of travel, right, for you this year too, right? In regards to stuff, right? Metamorphosis, shift in consciousness too, right? So wealth and evolution, right? So wealth comes from exploration, right? And this traveling too, whether it's astral, physical, whatever the case may be, but there's evolution through diverse experience, peaceful change, light codes, transformation. You know what I mean? All right, either way. Hi, Capricorn. So here we are, right? So in love, traditional values are gonna, in love, meet modern approaches. So even if you were slow to love, slow to commit, or whatever the case may be, or in a commitment, there's gonna be some type of tradition that you're gonna create for yourself that is gonna ring true in your heart. In career, right, your discipline helps in navigating new career landscapes. So you're like broadening your path here, right? So, yeah, because in regards to your money, conservative financial strategies benefit from a touch of innovation, right? So you're like being more open-minded to certain kind of things, to stay relevant in certain kind of ways. You know what I'm saying? In regards to your health, right? Structured health routines, right? Incorporate new techniques. So you might be doing some new type of exercises too, and things like that, or I even hear partnering. I don't know, but either way. So in regards to your wealth and evolution, wealth comes from hard work and adaptation, right? Adaptation to that angel hail of fire and spellbind, subdue elements, protection, right? Liberating truth, power to bind and unbind. So maybe even binding in love, right? Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius, love, embrace the unique relationships that are prospering or coming up for you here in these quantum dynamics, right? So be true to yourself, be true to your heart. So to hear, be true to your heart. In career, you're at the forefront of change, leading with vision. So there's a lot of transformation here, right? Especially in regards to your money, right? Investments in groundbreaking technologies and humanitarian causes, things that you might be like not like prone to go to, you know what I mean? Divine angel of grace and truth, living in your truth too, heart focused grace, growth, light of truth, clean heart, honesty, trustworthiness, having trustworthiness too in your partnerships and things like that, right? So that's going to be really, really big too at this time, you know what I mean? So in regards to your mental health, it's paramount, right, for you to seek innovative healing methods and really be true. I just hear true to your heart, true to your heart, right? Honesty, be honest, you know what I mean, how you feel. Wealth and evolution, right? Wealth lies in originality, which you have, right? Evolution by breaking certain barriers and really living from your heart space, right? Star of love and beauty, right? Yeah, and your psychic ability growing too, right? So either way, Pisces, right? So Pisces in love, deep and emotional spiritual connections flourish, allow it, right? Allow the deepening, right? In regards to your career, right? Creative talents find a place in emerging industries, angel of intuition and inner peace, merging the worlds, right? Patron of empaths, intuition, right? Intuition in regards to your money too. Intuition guides successful financial ventures, right? So that's great, right? Angel of divine partnerships here too, right? So yeah, divine love, twin flames, peace, union, so health. So in regards to your health, water-based activities enhance your physical and emotional and intuitive well-being too, right? For your wealth and evolution, right? Wealth is in your creativity too, and empathy, right? Evolving through spiritual exploration, right? So unconditional love, right? So this unconditional love coming up, right? Messenger of the divine source, new beginnings, resurrection, right? Either way, um, each sign, right, can harness the transformative energy of Pluto, right? Entering Aquarius, right, in order to grow and evolve in these key areas of life. But remember too that these are just general guidances, right? Based on astrological symbolism, right? And should be adapted to individual circumstances and intuition. To always use your discernment in regards to all this kind of stuff here. You know what I mean? And everything in this perceived 3D reality is conditioned onto us, right? It's conditioned to us. And so even take that like a grain of salt is like what I was saying, like before and things like that, because um it's what is real. Hold on. My cat. I just want to thank you all for tapping and turning on, tuning in with me on my channel, right? Enchantress Thee Babbler here on YouTube, right? Um, I'm so grateful to be able to have this platform, to be able to express as I do, whether it's about spiritual evolution or whether it's poetry, whether it's, you know, just my own creativity or just sharing other bits and pieces of information and worldly stuff. Like I'm really excited and stuff like that. So to be able to be here, right? So we were talking about in this video, Pluto's pivotal shift into Aquarius, right? This is in choppy parts because this took literally a couple of days to make and stuff like that. I paused and, you know, and then in the beginning part, I was a little bit like, you know, all over the place and stuff like that, but it is what it is at the end of the day. If you listen to it in parts and pieces and all that kind of stuff, it really has a quantum effect. You know what I mean? So, you know, So just reiterating on Pluto, right? Pluto being this cosmic agent of metamorphosis, right? Metamorphosis, destruction, and rebirth, right? It's intensifying our entire existence wherever it graces us here, especially in our own birth charts and stuff like that. So just collectively speaking, right, there's so much to Pluto more than meets the eye, right? It's beyond the shadows of certain kind of things, right? So it really does offer us a crucible to for growth and resurgence in our own divine being. So take with it as you will in this video and stuff like that, right? It's just, you know, we're diving into the depths of this. We're diving deep, deep, deep into the seas, right? And Pluto's essence is rooted in the realm of deep emotions, right? And the subconscious, right? Meaning the conscious, right? Subconscious, the subconscious that embodies certain kind of parts of ourselves, often, you know, veiled from the world, you know what I mean? And so here we are, right? So we're here, right? And then it's going into the sign of Aquarius as well, right? Which is the zodiac seeker of mystical truths and stuff like that. So it's not conventional, right? It goes beyond the conventional belief systems, right? And and so Aquarius being always in the pursuit of enlightenment, right? It's bringing about massive change, and it's destroying certain structures here on this perceived 3D reality of Earth, right? That is happening already. You know what I mean? So either way, I'm gonna pull a couple cards, see what comes out, right? um in regards collectively to this transit that's happening now and what can be expected, right, through this Pluto dynamic, right? Because Pluto is this elemental force of nature, right? We were talking about that the other day. And it's always in this state of perpetual dance, right, of creation and destruction. And so with that, you know, we can expect psychological shifts, right? Like actual reality, and here in reality shifts, right? Because Pluto and all this kind of stuff represents our hidden drives, right? Our obsessions, right? And our compulsions. This is just individuality, right? So here, light of awareness, right? About the emptiness too. So the future, right? So here we go. We got 105 and 108, right? 5, 6. 6 is all about balance. 8, 9 is all about completion, right? So here we are. So light of awareness, right? Orion light, right? So Orion light, in the future 105, right? So 105. Excuse me. What time is it? All right, I have those too. Right? So our true state of being is as a unified, abiding awareness. This awareness contains no judgment, labeling, commentary, or opinion, right? So let me read that again because I read that choppy, right? So our true state of being is as a unified, abiding awareness, right? This awareness contains no judgment, labeling, commentary, or opinion, right? So when we do deep meditation, we can access this state, but first for brief moments and then for longer periods of time, right? The more you do, the more you grow into your development of habitual exercise, practice, right? Ways of doing certain kind of things, right? So the more that you do something, the better you will get at it, like period. Like, you know what I mean? So the consciousness of the Orient light represents this abiding awareness within us that transcends polarity. You may visualize this as a candle flame during your meditation. Work with the exercise to reconnect with your true state of being, right? As each person does this, the old wounds from Orion are healed and humanity can awaken, right? So this, through this Pluto, right? Destruction, recreation of stuff, right? It's coming, it's healing the old wounds, right? And in order for humanity to awaken to their better sense of self, their better sense of now, their ability to operate in the now that is now. You know what I'm saying? So the last 4 cards of the deck access the energy called the Orion light, which connects with a very evolved era in Orion history, but represents so much more. They reference the complete healing and integration of not only the polarity within the Orion system that has affected us all, but the polarity that played out within the holographic matrix of creation itself. These cards represent the end game, so to speak. Pluto, you know what I mean? The return to the source and our natural state of being as one unified, abiding consciousness. Like, what the fudge? You know what I mean? Look, I go back into it, like, you know, another day later, and it's just like, it's in full alignment. Definitely take in all of this. Take in all of this, because all of this is for our evolutionary collective greatness. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, right? So what the whole destruction, for the recreation, for the recalibration, for the upliftment of us as a source energy, as a powerhouse energy, as a collective energy, right? So once awakened, the illusion of polarity can no longer exist. Eventually, all of us on earth will have to accept that awakening or salvation comes not from anyone or anything outside of us, but through our own efforts to awaken ourselves. If this card appears in your reading, it is a powerful symbol that the Orient light, the light of the awareness of creation, is strongly working with you for your own awakening. You may or may not feel it overtly. If you need assistance to tap into it, imagine a golden liquid light lake during your meditation, and know that all aspects of creation, even the unpleasant ones, are made from this liquid light. Let this liquid light help you feel the unity that is your true nature, right? And know that this liquid light resides in you too. Use the candle flame as mentioned above to access this awareness as often as you can. Okay? Emily, tap in, turn on, tune. For those of you tapped in, turned on, tuned in. This is that Plutonic shift that is occurring here right now, right? So here we go. We're going to go to 108, right? Which is 9, which is all about completion, right? So imagine taking off in a plane, right? At first, it's bumpy and the scenery is filled with many distracting things, right? This represents the mind. As you take off and fly through the clouds, it is like passing through the emotions. Sometimes there is bumpiness, turbulence, right? And the clouds, right? Eventually you rise above the clouds and there is nothing but endless empty sky, right? This is your true state of consciousness, an endless empty field of awareness that contains nothing. There are no opinions or desires, only light. The Orient light within you, the sky, has always existed and always will. When you recognize this, you will awaken, okay? The last 4 cards of the deck across access the energy called the Orient light. They reference the complete healing and integration of not only the polarity within the Orient system that has affected us all, but the polarity that played out within the holographic matrix of creation, right? This last card of the deck represents the end point of our journey from unity to polarity to reintegration, right? So the theme of this card, emptiness, refers to a state of complete integration and balance when polarity ceases and the consciousness of the one is at rest but ever abiding. Both completely full and empty simultaneously. This card captures the energy of paradox described in card 98 and is actually our true nature. I can cry. Adept meditators and yogis have experienced this state as various forms of samadhi. Samadhi. I don't know how to say it. Samadhi. Samadhi. Go look it up. Okay. S like Sam, A like apple, M like Mary, A like apple, D like dog, H like hello, I like ice cream. Okay. Samadhi. But the paradox is that as soon as we try to describe it, its true essence becomes distorted. It can only be experienced, right? So it's like Satori, something like that, right? So why did this card come up in your spread? Again, it depends on your life circumstances and the other cards in your reading. And we were talking about this Plutonic shift that is occurring. It is massive. It is quantum. If you are tapped into and tuned into this, you are part of this, okay? You are part of this. Spirit of Pluto in Aquarius, right? This transformative spirit of Pluto in Aquarius, right? And definitely go rewind to when I gave the affirmations and these mantras for you to use to fuel your own personal and collective evolution, right? Either way, it depends on your life circumstances and the other cards in the reading. Most likely it's because somehow you need a reminder of where you are going. Eventually back to the source, right? And what, how long we said after Pluto makes its fix in Aquarius, this is for the next until 2044. Okay, so definitely tap in. If you tapped in, turned on, tuned in with my thing, subscribe for more mystical insights. And remember, we're not just stargazing here. We're star transforming. Okay? So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more mystical insights and alignment and alchemy, right? Because we are star transforming. Okay? Either way. Okay. Most likely it is because somehow you need a reminder of where you are going, eventually back to the source. And a reminder about your true nature, empty, full, devoid of polarity, right? So, like, think about that, right? Everything has a polar opposite, and we're all saying this, but everything is in fusion. Everything that exists today, we have everything like in separation, right? So, if everything is in separation, like we look at something like when I say, oh, my Sagittarius, polar opposite is Gemini. It's not so much that it's an opposite, it's a part, right? We are a part of one another. We have to look at the whatever side view that we're seeing and understand that the polarity of the other side that we're seeing is still a part of who we are. Everything that we are, it's a part of everything. It's infusion. It doesn't have to be separation. So if you can look at it with inclusion, right? So it's just like either way, but then realize that at the root of everything that we are, this greatness that we are, this entity that we are, this spirit that we are, there's nothing. Out of nothing came something. You know what I mean? So this great source. So like this imagery that they're giving, like play this back as much as you can until you get the imagery in your mind so that you can meditate and align and alchemize and come into this state of samadhi. Samadhi. I don't know, that's how I'm hearing it right now. Okay? Right? So a reminder that your true nature, empty, full, devoid of polarity, right? This card is meant as an encouragement for your spiritual journey and to embrace, right? Meant as an encouragement for your spiritual journey and an embrace given to you by the source itself. Surrender to the embrace. Become nothing, and you will find that in that nothingness, the loving fullness of creation will be all that exists. I love that. I love that. Right. So we'll be talking more about this kind of stuff and things like that. Definitely tap in, turn on, tune in. I'm going to be doing a new moon in, wait, full moon, new moon in Capricorn video. So buckle up for that one as well. Right. Right. Just know that Pluto's energy is extremely potent and it's powerful. Right. Right? That, like we were saying before, this planet represents the underbelly of all emotions, what lies beneath the surface, what lies beneath the lava that makes the lava explode, right? All the parts of ourselves that are not shared, that are not free, freeing itself, right? So either way, thank you so much for tapping in, turning on, tuning in. Till next time, bye.